Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at the Eurogroup press conference in Bratislava. And I want to also take the opportunity to thank our Slovak hosts for the excellent organization and the splendid venue where we are today. We welcomed at the Eurogroup Petteri Orpo, the newly appointed Finnish Minister of Finance. He was with us for the first time. And we also welcomed Alenka Šmerkol, who is the acting Slovenian Minister of Finance. So this was our first Eurogroup after the summer break. Many challenges ahead. Reading the newspapers which you deliver to us, thank you for that. You sometimes get the atmosphere of doom and gloom over the Eurozone. I'd like to say that the economic recovery is progressing. Growth returned to almost all of our countries and becoming stronger year on year. Unemployment going down in most of our countries. So there are some very positive signs throughout the Eurozone. Growth keeping up with the US. That's also an interesting perspective to take. And the supportive policies that we have in place, monetary policy, support for investments, structural reforms, improving the quality of public finance, on all of those areas, we will continue to push the effectiveness of what we do and see what further steps are needed. Today we discussed, first of all, the state of affairs in Greece. We took stock of the progress. There are a number of milestones still pending to fully complete the first review, and coupled to those are further disbursements. So we took stock of those and heard a little about the issues at stake. There was a general feeling that we mustn't lose the time scale that was designed and agreed in May, so more progress is needed, and we strongly encourage the Greek government as a whole to speed up the implementation of the remaining milestones. And that, of course, can also help in timely start and completion of the second review, and work on that will have to start very soon also. Against this background, we were happy to hear from our Greek colleague his commitment to do that work very quickly, and we will follow that closely in the coming weeks. Also, we discussed three fiscal issues. First of all, we looked at the issue of early and late submissions of draft budgetary plans. We've had that a couple of times in the last years, and I'm glad to announce that all ministers are committed to submitting draft budgetary plans from now on in the window of the 1st of October, between the 1st and the 15th of October. So let's not have any more early submissions, let alone late submissions in that time frame. The draft budgetary plans need to come in. That will also allow the Commission to synchronize the assessment, the horizontal assessment of the draft budgetary plans that then follows. Also, the issue was discussed on what a caretaker government should do in that period. The general line, of course, being that they can submit a no policy change budget. On these two elements, the guidelines of, I believe it is the two-pack, will have to be adjusted, and that work will now proceed and come back to us in ECOFIN. Secondly, we took stock of the Commission's preparations and the dialogue with the European Parliament in relation to partial freezing of structural fund commitments following the Spanish and Portuguese EDP. So the Commission informed us on the state of play there, and I think we all agree that that process needs to be completed as soon as possible. As you know, the Spanish and Portuguese governments need to, on top of their draft budgetary plans, at the latest on the 15th of October, submit a specific report on effective action that they need to take. I'm sure the Commissioner will say more about that. Third, we were informed on the progress on the technical work on making the Stability and Growth Pact simpler, more predictable and understandable for all of us. This is about the indicators needed to see whether countries comply to the pact. This is a debate we had in Amsterdam during the informal ECOFIN and Eurogroup in Amsterdam. There's good progress, and we should be ready to take some decisions on these budgetary indicators later this year. So we will come back to that probably in November. Finally, we held another discussion on the quality of public finances in our countries. We've discussed it before. Today we focused on spending reviews, which is, to ministers of finance, a very useful and effective way to get a better insight and improvements on the effectiveness of spending, public spending, to assess the priorities and to ensure that public money is spent wisely and effectively. So we exchanged information, experiences on this topic. A number of ministers informed us how they use the instrument, how it works out, and we have designed a number of common principles on the use of this instrument of expenditure reviews. And we will come back to that in our in the first half of 2017 and on a regular basis after that. So those were the key issues today. Let me give the floor to Commissioner Moscovici.